I'd like to invite Bobby Walston and Stephanie Sudano to the stage. They have a special presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good to be with everybody this evening. Just like to start out this presentation with a short video. So if you'll, mid-salad, if you'll direct your attention to the screen and we can roll the clip.
The aviation industry has been integral to North Carolina since taking its first flight more than a century ago. Aviation is now vital to our state's economy, contributing more than $60 billion each year. And as the industry evolves, our dedicated workforce of general aviation and commercial airport professionals need to stay up to date on new technologies, policies, and best practices. To help meet this need, the NCDOT Division of Aviation established the North Carolina Airport Technical Assistance Program. NC AirTap is a joint effort of the Division and the Institute for Transportation Research and Education at NC State University with support from the North Carolina Airports Association. NC AirTap delivers training, information, and assistance to help our state's airport professionals improve the safety, quality, and efficiency of their airport operations. A major focus for NC AirTap is its Airport Leadership and Management Program, or ALMP. Designed for both new and seasoned airport managers and staff, ALMP offers 12 courses covering various management and operational topics, from airport governance, minimum standards, funding and finance, to safety and security, public relations and communications, and working with FBOs.
Professionally, I think the ALMP courses helped me by understanding all the different parts of airport management. It also helped me be more efficient in my job and the tasks that I have to do.
The ALMP courses have provided us with so many tools for our aviation toolbox that over the course of these few classes, we were able to access real expertise, reference materials, discuss real-world scenarios that we might not encounter for years in our service.
Participants completing at least 9 of the 12 courses earn the North Carolina Airport Professional Certification. Since ALMP's launch, over 200 professionals across the state have participated in the courses, and more than 18 to date have earned their NCAP certificate.
The NCAP certification to me is a validation of my commitment to better my skill set, allowing me to elevate my support of aviation in the state as well as the Stanly County Airport.
Every airport is different, but this course provided a balance of topics related to general aviation and commercial service airports, giving NCAP recipients a more complete understanding and appreciation of our state's airport system.
ALMP and other NC AirTap training courses greatly benefit from the many airport administrators, engineering and legal experts who volunteer their time and talents to help prepare and teach the courses. We thank these generous professionals, most of whom work here in our state, for this valuable contribution to ALMP's success.
Learning from the people in the business, and that was an important piece of this whole curriculum. It was North Carolina centric. It was certainly taught by people that were actually in the field, trying to run the businesses themselves, or actually providing those support services for those airports like ours.
Personally, I think the ALMP courses helped me to build relationships with other airport managers in the state and also DOT airport personnel. Those are relationships that I can count on from time to time to give advice and also lean on for ideas within our industry.
This is absolutely worth the time and effort. The takeaways are countless: networking, interfacing with subject matter experts, access to reference materials, dissecting real situations, do's and don'ts, the list goes on and on. This has been an absolute positive for me with no negatives. Take the opportunity. You will be better after completing the ALMP program.
You're invited to be a part of ALMP. Visit the NC AirTap website to learn more, to register for courses, and to contact the program staff.
Back up. Excellent. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Thank you, team, for getting that put together. I hope that video helped you learn a little bit more about the division's North Carolina Airport Technical Assistance Program, and including our unique, I'd say unique in the country, Airport Leadership and Management Program. So I want to thank Granzer, Ken, and Bob for their testimonies and participating in that video. They are representative of, as the video said, over 200 airport managers and staff across the state, and I'll add some from out of state that have attended one or more of the ALMP courses and have reported very positively, on its benefits. So tonight we're very pleased to award a special designation to those individuals who have completed 9 or more of the ALMP courses since it began. These individuals are the first recipients of the North Carolina Airport Professional Credential, otherwise known as NCAP designation. So first, before we recognize these people, let me thank our many volunteer committee members, course instructors, panelists, subject matter experts who have dedicated their time and talents to make this program a success. ALMP and AirTap could never have happened without these individuals who share a vision for the North Carolina airport community. That vision includes opportunities for airport managers and their staff to team, to network, to collaborate, to advance professionally, and to make North Carolina a best in the nation aviation industry. And that you all represent that tonight. So as the names of our volunteers and our staff are listed on the screens, those who are here tonight, I would just ask you to just briefly stand as we recognize you by each group. And so starting tonight, first, current and past members of the North Carolina AirTap Steering Committee. These include board members of the North Carolina Airports Association, airport consultants from our community, and the Division of Aviation staff. So if you're on the screen, please stand briefly. And just want to recognize you all. So thank you very much for your time on the steering committee and help providing input to not only ALMP, but more importantly, I think the bigger Airport Technical Assistance Program that is really such a great thing. Our next is the course instructors, panelists, and subject matter experts. And so I'd like for you all to stand. Now, here we've got 55 volunteers to date who have each given several hours of their time to help prepare and teach these courses. This is a long list that can be read and appreciated more if you look at the division's running slide deck. You saw them just briefly on that video that kind of filled in the one screen. That was pictures of all the different volunteer instructors and presenters, that many of you are here around the conference. So I'd just like for you, if you have participated in ALMP in some fashion or form, please stand again or stand. It's many of you are in the room, but it's those of you that I looked at a couple of times today as I looked across the audience and some of the general sessions and said, that's the really strength of this community is having some sort of expertise, knowledge from your journey to help bring to others. And so if you've been a part of an ALMP course, instructing at provided input, please stand. Thank you very much, each and every one of you, and many of you couldn't be here tonight. Next, I want to thank the staff members at the division and also with ITRI at NC State who collaborate to make the ALMP program happen, including quickly pivoting during COVID from in-person courses to online delivery. Will you each please stand? And you can see them listed there, the Division of Aviation ALMP Planning Committee is up there, and then the ITRI staff from NC State who administers the ALMP program for us, and also NC AirTap for the division. So you all quickly stand, please. Okay, now with great pleasure, will recognize and present each recipient of the North Carolina Airport Professional recognized individual with a challenge coin and a frame certificate, as shown here on the screen. So recipients, please pick up these items at the table over in my far right at the end of the banquet tonight. Audience, also please note that gold ribbons are on their conference name tags, and so these folks are also recognized that way as being recipients. So I just want to say congratulations to each of these individuals on their diligence and hard work and really sticking with the program, and also their contribution to the course as well, because they contributed during the courses for discussion and asking questions. And you know, it's always those folks in the class that lean forward and lean into things and help it make it more fruitful. So our first ever recipients of the North Carolina Airport Professional designations are Rick Barkus from Kinston Regional Jetport at Stallings Field, Barry Blevins from Harnett Regional Jetport, Peter Savalas, Charlotte Monroe Executive Airport, Dan Danley from Burlington Alamance Regional Airport, David Daniels from Dare County Regional Airport, Granzer Dick from Wilmington International Airport, Heidi Fisher from Burlington Alamance Airport Authority, George Futrell from Duplin County Airport, Bob Hutes from Raleigh Executive Jetport, Sandra Jansen with Albert J. Ellis Airport, Gage King from Henderson Field, Phil Lanier from Johnston County Airport, Carol Van der Linden from Davison County Airport, Ken Swearingen from Stanley County Airport, and last but not least, our president, Chris White from Albert J. Ellis Airport. So let's give them all a hand and for that recognition. And I'd also like just to quickly recognize 4 Division of Aviation staff folks that really stuck it out with us too. Not that they had a whole lot of choice, but they were very engaged, and I pushed them to do it as well. But Todd Meyer, who unfortunately with a passing in his family was not able to be here for the conference, Ashley Klaus, Rachel Bingham, and Stephanie Sedano. So thank you all for knocking it out as well. So thank you all for helping us celebrate the first class of the North Carolina Airport Professional accomplishment. If you would like to join them in earning designation as North Carolina Airport Professional, you certainly can. The North Carolina Leadership and Management Program Course 12 is coming up in September. If you need information or have questions about the program, visit the NC AirTap website or ask any of the individuals I've mentioned tonight. The program's staff members are happy to provide more information to you. And finally, I just want to say, later this fall, we're pleased to say that we'll be relaunching the 12-course series again with a lot of lessons learned and what I feel like is going to be even a better, improved program. So always getting better, unlike my golf game. Right, Mike? Wherever he's at. So all airport managers and their staff are invited to attend. So this is really for you all, you airport managers, your staff, and again, just a great opportunity to grow and help one another get better. So thank you for the time, and let me allow to celebrate that with everyone.
Thank you, Bobby. And as one of the recent graduates, I really did enjoy that program. It was a great program, learned a great deal, and had a lot of fun helping to teach part of that course. Scholarship is one of the biggest things that is important to the association. We want to develop future leaders in aviation, future managers, just anyone involved in aviation. We work to promote that. I'd like to welcome John Ferguson up to the stage to announce the NCAA's 2021 Scholarship Awards, and he's going to read a little bit about the individuals. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Chris, and I will be getting my airport management leadership thing in a couple of times because I had just purchased an FBO, or the city had, and I had to miss a couple of meetings. But We have three extraordinary candidates for scholarships. The 2021 Bruce Matthews Scholarship recipient is Courtney Fry from Beaufort, North Carolina, and is currently living in Raleigh, North Carolina, where she is attending North Carolina State University, working towards her Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering. Courtney will be entering her senior year at North Carolina State and holds a 3.19 GPA. This summer, she has been interning with the Colifer Group of Morehead City, working with their engineering team on developing projects through Cataract County. Courtney's expectations for her future in the field of transportation align with helping create long-term sustainable infrastructure that supports our transportation and also helps the environment. Courtney became very passionate about working in the development or urban transportation field while hearing about jets and helicopters from her mom, who is an engineer who works for the Department of the Navy at MCAS Cherry Point. Courtney is hopeful that she too can work in the aviation field upon graduation. When she's not working or in school, you can usually find her out on the boat with her family and friends or taking her dogs for rides and walks. During the school year, she enjoys attending Wolfpack events as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Courtney Fry. I am the recipient of the 2021 Bruce Matthews Scholarship. I just wanted to extend my thanks to anyone who had a part in making this scholarship possible, and especially those that are on the scholarship committee for choosing me in this incredible scholarship. It means so much coming from a transportation and aviation related field as well. It's something I really see myself in once I graduate. I wish I could be there to thank you all in person, but once again, thank you and have a great year.
The NCAA organization gives out 2 scholarships to very deserving students. Andrew Lee is a senior at Asheville Buncombe Technical Community College in the Aviation Management and Career Pilot Technology, Aviation Management field of study, while a commercial pilot at Western North Carolina Aviation. Andrew has maintained a 4.0 GPA throughout college while working as a professional shopper for Harris Teeter. Andrew is a private pilot and instrument-rated ASEL and private pilot glider and currently has around 330 hours. While working towards his glider license, he volunteered at 2 competitions, a low performance and a Schweitzer SGS 126. Aviation has been a part of his family for generations. Both of his grandparents were private pilots who love the sport, and he attributes his passion for flying as coming from them. His aviation objective is to become a CFI for WNC Aviation and eventually become employed at Piedmont Airlines as a first officer and then American Airlines. He desires to become involved in the Western North Carolina Pilots Association and to volunteer at the North Carolina Air Museum. In his free time, Andrew enjoys hiking, watching Netflix, and playing video games.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Lee and I'm from Hendersonville, North Carolina. I am currently attending Asheville Buncombe Technical Community College with a dual major in career pilot technology and aviation management. I am currently completing my commercial pilot training and I'm also working as a dispatcher and ground instructor and hope to become a flight instructor for my flight school, Western North Carolina Aviation, in the fall of this year, with an end goal of becoming a airline pilot for Piedmont Airlines. I've been working hard towards these goals for several years, and I am extremely grateful for the North Carolina Airport Association for both the encouragement y'all have given me and the financial assistance. Thank you.
Elizabeth Lee is from Asheville, North Carolina. and is dual enrolled currently as a junior in the honors program pursuing a biology degree at the University of North Carolina at Asheville, and at Asheville-Buncombe Technical Community College for aviation, all the while working 2 jobs, a marketing manager for Highsmith Student Union at UNCA, and a program supervisor for the UNCA Asheville campus, entertainment, where she organizes 2 events per month and collaborates with community organizations with a focus on diversity and inclusion. Elizabeth is passionate as she encourages more women and women of color to enter into the field of aviation. When asked about her goals, Elizabeth feels that hard workers such as truck drivers, bus drivers, and freight pilots deserve more credit as they keep the economy moving. Understanding its high integrity, her dream job as a child was to become a mail carrier, but as an adult now pursuing her private pilot's license, she continues to carry this in sentiment and says she will carefully consider a job as a freight pilot working for USPS. If she decides to advance to a commercial pilot's license, in her free time she enjoys skateboarding, longboarding down the hills around UNCA campus, and spending time with her friends.
Hi, my name is Karuna. I wanted to thank you in this video for being selected and for receiving the NCAA scholarship. It really meant a lot to me. I've been chasing my dream of flying for about 3 years now, and I am so excited to finally be able to accomplish it. So thank you so much.
And as a C student from Auburn University, this has been a very impressive group.
Thank you, John. Folks, continue to eat dinner. I want to call Andy Shorter to the stage, our past president. Last year, in the midst of the pandemic, Andy so unceremoniously said, "I'm dropping the pack, it's yours." So Andy didn't get the opportunity to present his leadership or his President's Award last year. So we'll have an opportunity now.
Right, so the military folks, former military in the audience know what the dropping of the pack is all about. So, you know, that's something that I like to share with my friends that hadn't had the chance to serve. So you've heard about it a little bit earlier today. I think Mark talked about it, the challenges that we had last year with the conference and preparing for the conference, and then understanding COVID, the impacts. And then we pushed the conference, we delayed it, we didn't cancel it, and then we had to do it yet again, and then yet again, and almost one more time. I'm looking at Lisa laughing as she's, you know, pulling her hair out. Anyway, what we didn't have a chance to do, or I didn't have a chance to do as the past or president that was leaving office, was give away a President's Award. And that really affected me probably worse than anything else that we didn't get to do as an organization last year. Military service, teams, I like team awards, and this is what this is going to represent. I don't know in the past if we've done it that way. A lot of it will wrap into some of the things we've just been talking about, which is a lot of great things that this organization does and has been doing. And if you remember way back to, I don't even remember when it was, 18 months ago or so that we had the last conference here, that I stood up here as the president, I talked about the things that we were doing in the state, in the industry, as Bobby just said. But I likened it to an enterprise. You know, we have this enterprise effort going on now between the consultants doing their work, the airports doing their work, and then we have this aerospace industry that are doing the things in the state that's propelling the state to be the first in flight forever, correct? So it is really, I come from a background in the military and naval aviation enterprise, where I learn enterprise behaviors and how that looks and works. And the key point to that enterprise behavior is alignment. And I will think that most of you will agree with me, we have some great alignment nowadays because of all these programs are all working and propelling people in the same direction. So once you get that alignment, you get velocity, right? And so it's just bigger and better from now on to what we do, as long as we keep applying that guidance for that enterprise. So with that in mind, one of the biggest or best and most cohesive teams that work within this enterprise is the Division of Aviation. So my President's Award for 2020 is to the Division of Aviation. So I know Rachel, I've seen you, Ashley, Thad, if all of you would come up here, please. Come on up so we can take a picture. So again, teamwork is what this is all about, and what the division has done. Come on up, James.
This is fancy as what's in some of these new terminal buildings going on.
So hopefully a lot of you remember the state outline done with the 72 airports, the airport codes. And so what that is, Bobby, Lisa's friend, did a really nice job putting this together. And we'll take a picture and then I'll read the inscription. Hold your breath. Smile. I didn't commit this to memory, so I'll read it off here in this nice display. But the 2020 President's Award is presented to the North Carolina Department of Transportation Division of Aviation in recognition of their unsurpassed support and unwavering dedication in developing and enhancing North Carolina's system of airports, along with promoting the statewide airspace industry and its valuable impact. And those are the things that we've been hitting on as a group, as an enterprise, and we expect it to keep happening. And thanks to teams like the Division of Aviation, we'll continue to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. The NCDOT Division of Aviation is absolutely deserving of this award. And for the presentation of the 2021 President's Award for Excellence in Leadership in Aviation, in following Andy's lead, the 2021 presentation or award is to one of the programs that NCDOT operates. It is exceptional. It has been highlighted nationally. It is, I'm questioned about it almost everywhere I go, because it is exceptionally successful. It is one of the programs that fits into the cornerstones of what the North Carolina Airports Association does, and that's growing the capacity of our members. So for the 2021 award, we would like to invite up the team from ITRI and NCDOT and the AirTap team as a whole. So. Stephanie, you can't avoid it this time. Excellent. Thank you. I want to thank you guys for joining us up here. We'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy your dinner.
During his time at NCDOT, and speaking of Bobby is right there in the center. That is funny. Look at Bobby. He's standing at the very top. You see him? He's 18 years old there. Hope and Jay Payton, Bill Mazik. I see quite a few faces in there with Will sitting right there in the middle. During his time at NCDOT, Will developed 18 new airports and administered over $200 million in grants to North Carolina airports. He worked tirelessly to represent the public interest in aviation, influence aviation policy at state and national levels, and to advance the industry as a whole. It's also noteworthy that two people hired by Will Plentl, Bobby Walston and Carol Comer, currently lead the aviation divisions in North Carolina and Georgia. Will was a mentor. Another great leadership trait that he had the ability to mentor other aviation professionals around him. He unselfishly shared his knowledge with many. Those of us lucky enough to work close to Will learned by watching how he navigated challenging political or regulatory requirements. Another quote there by Dion. Where is Dion? Okay. Well, I'll pick on him. Here's, this is Will telling Dion to tighten up. Tighten up, Dion, or Johnston Regional is going to overtake Rocky Mount there. I'm just kidding. Will came to my airport and told me the same thing. Tighten up, Phil. Dion's going to take. One constant throughout Will's life was his role as an ambassador of aviation. I should read that quote as well. He gave countless hours as a volunteer to promote aviation, whether it was our North Carolina Airports Association, National Association of State Officials, First Flight Foundation, Piedmont Foundation, First Flight Centennial Commission, or simply combating the state of Ohio for bragging rights to the Wright brothers. Will brought to bear all of his talent and his political connections to ensure North Carolina held the honor of being recognized as first in flight. So tonight is my pleasure to pass on the Will Plentl Professional Award. I'm going to actually ask Rachel to come up here and help me with this. Bobby Walston. Give Bobby a hand. Oh, wait a minute, Bobby. Wait a minute. We're going to talk about you for a minute. I'll tell you what it's really like to work with Bobby. But, you know, it's fitting. I just thought as I was sitting there, Bobby's been on the stage the whole time. It's fitting. Bobby started out giving out awards, so that speaks to Bobby. But I could go through the list of all of Bobby's accomplishments, and I know most of us here have been with him and partnered with him through all those accomplishments. But I'll give you just a little take into leadership. Leadership and commitment to aviation, and then community. When Bobby hired me out of the Transportation Engineering Associate Program, and he asked me to come interview with him. He wanted to see if I had what it took. He said, Phil, if you don't have what it takes, I'm sending you back to highways. But I said, give me a chance, Bobby. And I said, you know, the first thing I told him was, I don't know too much about aviation, but Bobby said, that's all right. Do you have a passion? And I said, you know, yes, sir. I think I do. He said, well, I'll give you that chance. So about 6 months to a year goes by, and Bobby needed somebody to work on the maintenance program and do some of the pavement management stuff. So he came to me and said, Phil, I need you to do these things, and I need you to get started now, you know. So I said, Bobby, I'm not an expert. I don't know anything about maintenance at airports, and I don't know anything about pavement management, but I'll try. He said, well, I'll help you out. Yeah, if you got any questions, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you along the way, Phil. You know, you got this. I got this. We got this together. I'll be there for you. If you need anything, call me. He's there. And I started thinking about all these experiences that I had with Bobby, and I realized Bobby's a natural leader. He's an encourager. He's a coach. He's not something that just kind of crams it down your throat and leaves you to the wolves. You know, Bobby's always there. And, you know, Bobby, it's kind of, you know, it means a lot to be able to push this to you. I know Will thought a lot of you and hired you. And so you hired me, and so it's an honor to be able to give you this award. Rachel?
So speaking of both Will and Bobby, I met them at the same time. When I went to work as a temporary technician at the Division of Aviation one summer, because Mike Horan was on military duty. And so I stepped in to help with the turf program that Jimmy Capps then had to go back and fix. And I met Will, and he was a great person, just one of those likable people as soon as you meet him. And miss him every day. And met Bobby at that time, and I just loved aviation, the division. I wanted to work there, I wanted to stay there, and it just didn't work out. And so I went on to highways. I wound up at Charlotte Douglas for several years, great tutelage there, and there was Will again. I was in the interview, and all of a sudden Will pops his head in, and I was like, Plentl, why do I recognize that name? He said, I used to be your boss. I said, okay, yes, sir. So he was my boss again for 10 years, and then I managed to make my way back to the Division of Aviation, where I was back with Bobby and spoke with Will quite often. And Julie and I were just talking today how we feel like Will had his aviation children. He would, if he linked up with you, he would stick with you, he would talk to you, he would mentor you. It was wonderful. And I think Bobby carries on that tradition, not only in the programs that he's brought to fruition in the 7 years I've been here. AirTap was a dream when I walked in the door, and now here it is, and we're handing out all of the awards. He's done so much with economic development to create that program, to work through the governor's task force and more than quadruple the funding for aviation across the state. And it's his passion to help the airports and to do what's best for the community to expand it. So my personal experience with Bobby, regardless of how hard things are at home, or how hard things are for military duty, or how hard things are at work, he never complains, never. So he is a great leader, a great friend, and a wonderful person to receive this award.
Bobby, come on up here and accept your award. Chris, will you help me? Bobby, just like you've been here for us, we're here for you now, and here's the Will Plentl Airport Professional Traveling Award.
Like the Stanley Cup, right?
Exactly. Which is so fitting for Will Plentl, who loved to travel and loved to visit with other airport directors and managers and professionals. Yeah, I'll get him.
Say a couple words about it. Just say a couple. Just say 3
I've already spoke tonight. This is a real surprise, a real honor. Many of you know Will Plentl in this room and have experienced Will, and I experienced him in many different ways. You know, visionary, could always go to Will. He always had ideas, and he did. He amazed me tremendously, as Phil was saying, the way he navigated so many things politically and you know, other modes of government for sure, but certainly worked with many of you all to help advance things. So I definitely learned a lot by watching. He did introduce me into the Air National Guard, and as a young single man, and I have really enjoyed that aspect of my life as well. But really honored, surprised, appreciative, and you know, just love you all. I'm glad to be here and glad to receive this. So thanks.